You're watching Tennessee Titans today. I am Tom Downey, and we're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers here, and we're not that far away. Less, or just over, I should say, 400. If you want the best Titans videos, then subscribe right now. Tom Downey here for Tennessee Titans Today by Chat Sports. We've got some free agency conversation and then actually plenty of draft tidbits to get to on Mel Kiper's mock draft, some QB rumors. But we begin with Rashaan Evans. Now, Evans remains unsigned in NFL free agency, and as of filming, he is set to visit the Jacksonville Jags. I'll make note that they added Foley Olakon at linebacker, the former Falcon, then cut Miles Jack, so linebacker's still a need for them. But I wonder if Tennessee, and this has been floated out there by several people, they just bring back Rashaan Evans. The former first-round pick has had some injury stuff, battled inconsistency. I liked him a lot coming out of Alabama. He was my number 3 or 4? Top 32 player for me at linebacker. I thought he was going to be an impact football player. Hasn't been the case. And for Tennessee, do you need him? That's kind of the flip side of this, right? You have David Long and Monty Rice, and you also redid the contract of Zach Cunningham. So that's your top 3 at linebacker. And I think you missed David Long when he was hurt, by the way, this past year. You've got other guys on the roster, and B.J. Bello and Dylan Cole, but those are more bodies. They're Jags, just a guy to an extent. So I don't think linebacker is a huge need for the organization. I don't think if it's cheap, let me put it this way. If it's cheap, sure, let's ride. There has never been a bad, no guaranteed money, 1-year deal for a linebacker or low guaranteed money in NFL history. I am always fine with buy low type of contracts. But, it's not the biggest need out there. So I ain't going to be mad if they don't re-sign him. So we'll leave it up to you guys. Do you want to re-sign Rashaan Evans? Y for yes, you do. N for no, you do not. Let me know in the comment section at the pinned comment on today's video. Do you want to re-sign Evans? Y for yes or N for no? Let's talk draft now, namely the Mel Kiper mock draft. The new one just dropped today on Tuesday. Mel Kiper mocked Zion Johnson, the Tennessee Titans, in round 1, and we'll break down some other things to go along with this here, but Johnson's played offensive tackle, offensive guard at Boston College, and I would argue is a left guard in the NFL, which is an area of need for Tennessee. Titans also, by the way, were mentioned to draft a receiver by Kiper. He dropped 2 names, Jahan Dotson, Traylon Burks, and it's worth noting that Jahan Dotson went off the board 1 pick before in Mel Kiper's mock draft to the Bills at 25. He had Tyler Smith at 24 to the Cowboys. I hate it, thanks. Devontae Wyatt, that's fine, to Arizona. Kenyon Green, the other top interior guard option at A&M, to the Packers. And I would have loved Jamison Williams, but he's gone at number 21 out of Alabama to the Patriots. Zion Johnson had a great combine, by the way, looked like a top-tier athlete, and he was good at Boston College. Didn't get beat that much. Solid run blocking play as well. From a grade perspective, second-round grade for me. But remember, you're picking 26th here. You're going to be out of true, actual first-round grades, and there's a very real chance for me that Zion Johnson is in my top 25 or my top 32, but he's going to be somewhere near the top of that early, round 2 grading, and that'll probably be a top 32 player for me. He is an instant plug-and-play option on the offensive line. So what do you think about this hypothetical pick? It's not sexy, not a big-name receiver, but he's a good football player. Grade the pick of Zion Johnson for me. Then we'll spend some more time on it. A, B, C, D, or F. The offensive line is your question mark here for Tennessee. This is how I have it for now. Taylor Lewan, Ben Jones, Nate Davis, locked and loaded right there. You didn't tender David Quesenberry, which was a surprise to me. Dylan Radins was a guard last year, but he was a tackle at North Dakota State, so I would assume he moves back to the right side, plugs in there. Left guard's a giant question mark. Aaron Brewer is probably more of a backup interior guy. Jamarco Jones is better served as your 7th offensive lineman than he is your 5th offensive lineman. So you plug Zion Johnson in there at left guard. I think you feel a lot better about the makeup of that O-line, especially if you subscribe to the theory of your O-line is only as good as your worst player. Some others who were on the board in round one. Treylon Burks was there. I might do that pick. A.J. Brown, Robert Woods, and Burks. Ooh, that's fun, but maybe you want some speed instead on the outside, and you pass on receiver and take somebody like an Alec Pierce in round 2 or Christian Watson in round 2 or 3. Nakobe Dean, if you want to go linebacker, okay, he's going to slide, I think, a bit. Bernard Raymond, the 25-year-old raw tackle, but has shown great growth in 2 years playing tackle. If you want to play him on the right side, that's a pick. George Karlaftis, not a fit. And then if you want to go QB, Matt Corral was also on the board. With the Titans light on cap space as we sit right now, it's draft season around Tennessee. And if you want more Titans draft coverage, you guys have come to the best spot out there. As the draft approaches, so does our coverage of it. And we will have daily videos on everything going on around Tennessee, plus draft grades for you guys once those picks come in. So if you haven't already, subscribe right now. It's youtube.com/Titans today. Let's talk QB as an option for Tennessee. Kenny Pickett had his pro day on Monday, and the Titans sent their quarterbacks coach, Pat O'Hara, to the Pitt Pro Day. We know what he's looking at, right? The QB. So that indicates at least a slight interest in Kenny Pickett, he of the very tiny hands, which is, they grew. He's a shower, not a grower. He's a grower, not a shower, I guess. It's fine. It is unlikely that Kenny Pickett is on the board in round 1, but sending the QB coach means at minimum they are doing their due diligence on the QBs in this year's class, which they would not be doing, I don't believe, if they were fully 110% committed to Tannehill being the guy beyond this upcoming year. So I do think it is a bit of a longer shot, but I would not rule out the possibility that Tennessee decides to draft a QB this year. So what do you guys think? Will Tennessee take a QB in this year's class? 1 for yes, 0 for no. Make your predictions for me in the comments section right now. At minimum, you might be looking for a better backup. Like, who here believes if Logan Woodside has to play 5 games, that Tennessee's going to win more than 1 or 2 of those? I don't. So I think at minimum, look around the backup QB market and maybe look for a developmental kid. Now, I think Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett are gone in round 1, so cross those names off the list. Matt Corral, Desmond Ridder, Sam Howell, all 3 could be there in round 1, but maybe none of them are there in round 2 for you. Carson Strong, I haven't heard good things about his knee or the way he interviewed at the Combine. That should be a bit of a red flag. And then maybe you want to go develop a Jack Cohn, a Caleb LB, a Bailey Zappi if you want to keep it local-ish to an extent. So having someone go to the Pro Day for Pickett is noteworthy. I think it means more for their philosophy at QB than it is interest in the individual player, however.